So today we're going to be talking about how to reinvent yourself this next year. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and create a great retirement. Well, one of the things I want to talk to you about is the idea of reinventing yourself. When this subject comes up, a lot of people really feel overwhelmed. They're like, how can I reinvent myself? I'm who I am. But it's really very simple. In fact, a lot of us reinvent ourselves multiple times over our lifetimes, but it's usually not out of choice. If you have ever been through any kind of loss, like a divorce, a breakup, if you've lost a spouse through death, those are times you are forced to reinvent yourself. You have to decide who you want to be now. You have to create new social settings. You have to reinvent what you want. Because when you go through a loss like that, what you want changes. It has to. Your life has changed. But we can also choose to reinvent ourselves. And as we decide if we want to retire early, maybe in our 50s, our 60s, we want to retire at the regular retirement age, that is a perfect time to reimagine what your life could be like. And I really like the term reimagine. I just had this conversation with several people this week, thus this video. I wasn't really planning to do this video, but the subject came up this week in several conversations. And these were conversations with women in their late 60s and early 70s. And they talked about how they felt like they were at the pinnacle of their creative life. They felt like they had bloomed into who they were supposed to be by their late 60s and early 70s. They have so much to offer. And so do you. One of the issues I think with retirement is people look at it as, oh, that's the downhill slide. That's when you become pretty much nothing and you're sitting in the rocking chair and you don't have anything else to offer. And that's absolutely the opposite of reality. And when you retire from your working life or whatever your main occupation or profession is, it is a perfect time to reimagine a whole new life. And let me give you an example of this. When I talk about reimagining your life, I'm not necessarily talking about something that you make money at, but it could be. There are people I know who have retired from being doctors, physicians, and then opened restaurants. There are people who have retired from construction and then started an Airbnb business. There are all kinds of things you can do to reimagine yourself, but you can also reimagine your life as an artist, as a creative. There are lots of things we want to do creatively, but because we perceive, well, it's not really something you make money at, we don't do it while we're working. It takes time, it takes energy. And then you get to a certain age and you think, oh, it's too late. It's too late. It is never too late. Never. You can sit down at any age and write the great American novel. And here again, this is how this came up in a conversation. I have a friend of mine who's in her early 70s and she's a very accomplished novelist. And she was talking about maybe going a different direction with her novels. And the subject came up, oh, maybe I'm too old. She's 72. And that subject came up of, oh, maybe it's too late. Delia Owens, who wrote Where the Crawdad Sings, is 72. It's really her debut novel in that arena. It is never too late. That has been a huge book. It's going to be a big movie. It is never too late. And that's just a fabulous example. Another example is, a couple of years ago, well, gosh, this is 2021. Yeah, a couple of years ago. In 2019, I went and took an oil painting class. I'd always wanted to do that. I'd never really done it, and I was really afraid I would suck at it, honestly. It's one of the reasons I didn't do it. But I went and took this class, and I decided, you know what, I'm really going to apply myself. I'm going to learn to draw, and honestly, my drawings were like stick figures. In fact, if I can find an early one, I'll pop it up on the screen. I think I tried to draw an elk, and it was horrific. But anyway, I decided to go and take this oil painting class and start to learn just because I'd always wanted to, not because I really thought it would turn into anything. It has turned into something I absolutely enjoy. It has now become a relatively large part of my life, and I do sell paintings. I do commissions. That wasn't my original intent, but people kept wanting to buy them, so I sold them. So, you can indulge in anything at this stage of your life and be good at it. And that's one of the things I really impress upon people. There is this assumption that you've got to be 20 years old to start something new. And if you're not 20, well, it's just not worth it. That's not true. As we age, we are able to learn things faster and better, and we have less worry about, is someone going to judge us for it? And that's a big part of it when you are doing creative arts, whether it's writing, painting, whatever. The fear of someone judging you for it is what stops a lot of young people from pursuing a passion that they really want to try. It stops them in their tracks. But as we age, we lose that. We don't care. I don't care what people think. And I've also discovered that with age, you really shorten that learning curve. I mean, I feel like had I been younger, it would have probably taken me years to get to the point I am now, and it's only been a couple of years since I started painting. So your ability to move faster and better really increases with age. It gives you this incredible advantage. The same is true with writing or any sort of other creative arts. If you want to be a screenwriter, if you want to take up an instrument, maybe learn to play guitar, something like that you've always wanted to do, you will be amazed at how quickly you learn it in your 60s and 70s versus how long it would have taken you to learn it as a 20-year-old. And when this subject comes up too, there's usually the question of, well, gosh, I'm not really sure what I want to do. There's a little secret to this, and it is your intuition will give you hints. I'm working with a woman who's a realtor, and she's writing a book on grief. When she was going through the grief process herself after losing her husband suddenly, she couldn't really find what she wanted, something that really helped. Now she's on this mission, and here she is in her late 60s. She is on a mission to help other people who have gone through this loss. That is an incredible mission, but it was something her intuition told her. She was a realtor. She didn't have any association with grief or anything like that. And so now that has really become her passion. But your intuition will give you hints. If you've always wanted to go and take a writing workshop, go give it a whirl. Your intuition is telling you, hey, maybe that's your passion. Maybe that is, sorry, doggo. Maybe that is what you are meant to do with the rest of your life. You never know what it will be. So this year, go out and try things. Listen to your intuition. And reimagine that the last part of your life will be the best part of your life. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe. And I'll see you next time.